Rheumatoid arthritis is a common form of inflammatory arthritis occurring throughout the world in all ethnic groups. It is more common in women as compared to men, with a ratio of 3 to 1. It is a chronic disease characterized by a clinical course of exacerbations and remissions. There are various predisposition factors. Two main characters are environmental and genetic predisposition. Environmental factors include smoking and infection. It is believed that they cause some change in the proteins of the host, which results in the activation of his own immune system against his own proteins, that is, the production of autoantibodies. Second theory says that there is a genetic predisposition. People who have HLA-DR or other immune response genes have predilection for rheumatoid arthritis. The pathophysiology includes infiltration of the synovial membrane with lymphocytes, plasma cells, dendritic cells, and macrophages. There is also a great role of CD4 plus T lymphocytes and B cells. They release TNF alpha, IL-1, IL-6, which are actually acute phase proteins. Prostaglandins and nitric oxide result in the pain and vasodilation. Osteoclast precursors are activated and they result in the characteristic bony erosions. Some metalloproteins like ADAMTS5 is also present, which result in the cartilage breakdown of the joints. Immune complex deposition results in the vasculitis features. Rheumatoid arthritis includes general features and clinical features. The clinical features are pain, joint swelling, and characteristic morning stiffness, which affects the small joints of the hand. There is a saying that it involves all the joints of the body except the distal interphalangeal joints. In case of an advanced disease, when aggressive therapy is not done, the characteristic deformities include the swan neck deformity. Other deformities are buttonhole deformity, also called the boutonniere deformity, Z deformity of the thumb, cock up toe deformity due to subluxation of the metatarsophalangeal joint of the big toe, and popliteal or Baker's cyst. Systemic features include anorexia, weight loss, and fatigue. Skin features include rheumatoid nodules, which are specifically present on the extensor surfaces. Ocular features include scleritis, episcleritis, and keratoconjunctivitis due to presence of secondary Sjogren's syndrome. Serositis is actually the inflammation of serous membranes. Serositis is signified by the presence of pleural effusion and pericardial effusion, while heart features include the pericardial effusion and heart block. Pulmonary features include pulmonary fibrosis. Also, in the treatment with the anti-TNF therapy, there is an increased risk of pulmonary fibrosis. Peripheral neuropathy includes the entrapment of the nerves due to the joint involvement. Spinal cord compression is due to the C1 and C2 subluxation. There is the degeneration of the transverse ligament of odontoid peg, which can be a very fatal condition, especially in case of surgery. Some care should be taken in the process of intubation. Other complications include amyloidosis, Felty syndrome, which includes splenomegaly, thrombocytopenia and neutropenia, and Kaplan syndrome, which consists of subcutaneous nodules and pneumoconiosis features. The investigation for the diagnosis of rheumatoid arthritis includes the presence of the clinical features along with the presence of some serological markers like rheumatoid factor, which is actually an IgM antibody. It is present in 70% of cases. Anti-citrullinated peptide antibodies are also present in 70% of cases. In case of advanced disease, some characteristic radiological findings can also be present. An X-ray of the hands, wrist and feet should be done. Synovial fluid examination should also be done to confirm the diagnosis. For the management of rheumatoid arthritis, We have to keep in mind that a newly diagnosed case of rheumatoid arthritis, NSAIDs and glucocorticoids should be started as early as possible, and along with it, methotrexate is started. The logic behind this is that methotrexate is going to take a lot of time for its action, so we are going to give NSAIDs and glucocorticoids for the decrease in inflammation and pain. Over the period of time, we are going to increase the dose of methotrexate and decrease the dose of prednisolone. Now, depending upon the result of the DAS28 investigation, which is actually a criteria to tell about the prognosis, it is actually involves the disease activity score of 28, in which we count the swollen joints, tender joints, measure the ASR. Depending upon its value, if it is less than 2.6, we will continue the methotrexate. But if it is greater than 2.6, we will add sulfasalazine and hydroxychloroquine. Methotrexate along with sulfasalazine and hydroxychloroquine are collectively called as the triple therapy. After some time, if the DAS28 score is less than 2.6, we will continue the triple therapy. But if it is greater than 2.6 and less than 5.1, we'll change the DMARDs or add low dose prednisolone. In case if it is greater than 5.1, we will add the biologics, which includes the anti-TNF drugs like etanercept, infliximab and adalimumab.